What's up, everybody? Welcome to Don't Give Up with Jacob. Today, I have a special guest joining me on my show today. Please give a warm welcome to Kathryn.
Hello, Jacob.
Hey there, Kathryn. Nice to see you. I'm so glad I could have you on my show today.
It's nice to be here.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions, which I want to see you answer. All right, then?
Sure.
All right, so I heard that you have autism and you also have three sons who also have autism. So, what's it like to be a mother with autism with three sons with autism?
So I think it is really great because I understand them because I have it too. So when we come up with barriers, it's easier, I think, for me to troubleshoot as a parent because I went through some struggles when I was younger. And although we're not all the same because it's a spectrum, autism is a spectrum. Two of my sons are desensitized to environmental stimuli, which is the exact opposite of me, who is hypersensitive. So when, my oldest and my youngest come crashing into the room, to me, I want to cover my ears and be like, oh, it's too loud. So we have some very, very big differences in how we deal with things.
Completely understand that. Sometimes autism gets pretty hard for me as well. I usually like to clap randomly, say random things out loud, repeat random things, and I also get energetic. And in school, it's sometimes hard for me to keep up with the other students in my class because I feel like I'm being rushed and the teachers are kind of going too fast and some of the work is hard, which that's why autism also gets pretty hard for me in some different ways, but it still makes me unique and special in my own way.
Well, and with my boys, it is about talking about different things so that we understand each other's boundaries. Like, for example, with my older and younger son, I had to talk about hugging because I'm sensitive to touch. And because they can't tell their limits, sometimes they hug too hard. So I have to let them know when they're hugging too hard.
I can relate to that. All right, so now I'm gonna ask you, what do you do when things get hard for you or your sons? Like if they feel something like angry, upset, frustrated, or even stressed over certain things, like how do you deal with that?
So we talk. I think communication is really important. I remember my oldest son coming to me frustrated because he didn't feel like he fit in with his fellow students. And he said, Mom, I don't know how to deal with this. Like, I don't know how to fit. And I said, You're not supposed to fit. You're just supposed to be yourself. It's not about making other people happy.
I can relate to that. I sometimes get upset over certain things as well, but I can't always be happy, you know? Sometimes I get something like angry, upset, frustrated, stressed, and sometimes I just can't help it, you know?
Yeah, when I was a kid, my grandmother was really big. She did interior design. And when she knew I was having a really hard week at school, she would take me to one of her projects, give me a sledgehammer, and let me hit a wall, because she would be knocking down a wall for a client. And so she would let me just hit the wall over and over and over again. And sometimes that made me feel better when I was just really frustrated.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good way to get all your anger out. All right, so now I'm gonna ask you, what do you like to do for fun?
So I love video games. My favorite game right now is Baldur's Gate 3. I also play Pokemon Go with my sons. It's one of the ways, because one of the things I noticed is we like to spend a lot of time on the computer. And so playing Pokemon Go was a way for us to get out from behind the computer and be outside.
All right, I like to be on my iPad a lot, and I also like to binge watch certain TV shows on channels such as Disney, PBS Kids, and even streaming channels such as Netflix, Paramount Plus, and sometimes Disney Plus as well. But at the same time, I also try to be active by going out for like certain walks or playing basketball or even going swimming, which I also find very fun.